I've heard that a lot of people are dealing with problems after getting out of the organization, and it's normal. It really is. I have noticed something in the last 40 years is that 1975 ordeal with the organization, there were a lot of people that left. I mean, they left by the thousands within, the few years surrounding 1975. There were people that left, people that were disfellowshipped because of conflicting ideas with the organization and the elders in the congregation, and they were gotten rid of for not listening, and they were, left. And I left in the early 80s. There are people out here on YouTube that left in the 90s. There's all decades covered out here. But I've noticed something over the last 35 years is that the things that we had to face and the things we had to deal with and the things we had to overcome have progressively gotten worse. The organization has tightened its grip. It's developed better tactics at brainwashing and adding pressure and using emotional blackmail against the members to force them to conform to what they want them to do and say and act, and the pressure that people are put under. If you think or do anything differently than what they approve of, then you'll lose your family. Your family won't talk to you. They treat you as you're invisible, as if you've died, and you are left with no contact with your friends or family or anything like that. And it's very difficult to go from living inside an isolated organizational community to transitioning into a world that you had been isolated from and don't understand how it works and how the people are, and you're taught to fear those things, and so you have the fear and the shame. You find out after a while you've been lied to, and then you wind up with psychological issues, emotional issues, and the fear and the anxiety and that they've instilled in you, that if you leave the organization, God's going to look badly upon you. God isn't going to listen to you anymore. Your family's not going to talk to you. It's really severe emotionally to have to go through those things. Now, I've noticed that each group, every 5-10 years that comes out, everybody speaks of the fear and the anxiety, nightmares, social problems, emotional issues. All of it has gotten worse over the last 35 years. I pray for the ones next to emerge from the organization, because they're going to have more issues than any of us ever thought of. The people that got out in the 90s had more issues than the people that got out in the 80s and all, like that all the way back. In the 70s there wasn't, a whole lot to deal with. In the 80s it was really difficult. There wasn't internet to research, there wasn't YouTube to go to for support and comfort and information and all that like there is today. The people that do get out, thank God, have a community of people they can go to for encouragement and support, and the love, understanding, and a reference of how to adjust to the outside world. But us that have already left, us that have had some period of adjustment at all, us that have been through the transition into the real world, we need to be there show them love and compassion, Show them that it can be done, because there's a lot of emotional pain. You guys know, we got, we've been there, done that, got a t-shirt. We know how hard it is. But think of these people growing up now. If you thought you had nightmares growing up because of the Armageddon nightmare, or listening to the grown-ups while you were a kid talking about the Revelation book, and you think of how scared and anxious you were. Think about them now. They got go bags packed. They're watching videos of families not talking to their own children anymore because, if you don't believe as your parents do, if you don't want to belong to that organization, at the assembly they're showing you that your parents aren't going to talk to you anymore. Armageddon's coming, and it could be here tomorrow, and they're showing the brothers and sisters hiding out in bunkers, waiting for the law enforcement to come and pick them up, and and the little kids are watching all this, and it's hammering into them, just hammering it into them over and over and over again, that they have to be scared, they better be fearful, and all that. There's no reason for that, there's no reason for that, because we understand. We've been there. We've been through all that. There's no reason for the shame. There's no reason for the guilt. There's no reason for all the anxiety. It's something that the organization hammered into you, and you have to go through a process of dealing with that and learning how to let that go, and learning how not to be critical and judgmental of other people, and to show people love regardless of what they believe when they get out. Because there's atheists and agnostics and Buddhists and all kinds of things that ex-Jehovah's Witnesses have become when they come out of that organization. They choose their own path, but that doesn't make them bad people just because they think differently of you. But you see, in the organization, you're taught, and it's hammered into you over and over again, if you're not a Jehovah's Witness, you're gonna die in Armageddon. If you leave the organization, God is not going to be happy with you. He's going to forsake you. You're going to be on your own. Your family's not going to talk to you. They fill you with all that fear and anxiety, and when you get out, you're full of shame. You're thinking, man, what did I do that's wrong? A lot of people haven't done anything wrong at all. They just chose to ask the wrong questions, or they did something they might not be proud of, but they're just kids and made a mistake, but their families throw them out, won't talk to them. You saw the video from the assembly. You know darn well that if you don't live the way your parents that are in the organization tell you, they will tell you to leave their home. Even if you're not old enough to go, you're going to go. There's 14, 15-year-old kids that have no place to live because their parents have cast them out of their house. They're minors. But it's all about the organization. If you think differently than that, they don't encourage you, they don't uplift you. But you see, in the YouTube community of us ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, we can provide that comfort and that love and the compassion and the direction to these people that are getting out of the organization. And that's what we're here for. We are examples. We're leading the way. We're showing them that, yes, it can be done. Yes, you can have a productive life. Yes, you can go on to school. You can become who you want to be. You don't have to be afraid. And we have to be here for them, because I'm telling you, the next group, 5-10 years from now, that's coming out of that organization, when they get old enough to realize that the bunker videos and the shunning videos were just a bunch of hooey, and they realize that they've been lied to and misled, and they leave just like we did. When they leave, they're going to need some help. They're going to need more help than we needed when we got out. They're going to need more help than you did when you got out. They're going to need more encouragement, more compassion, more understanding. And we got to learn to be that way amongst ourselves. We can't be talking bad about other people because they think a different way or do things a different way. That's not what we're supposed to do. That's a JW program, you know, that they've taught you to do things like that. But we're not like that. The organization doesn't have any power over us. It doesn't dictate to us who we need to be and who we are and how we need to act or talk or what we watch or what we listen to or anything like that. We are free to make up our own minds on that. You know, as we understand our God or our heavenly spirit, or if you believe in God or not, you know, we got to look ourselves in the mirror and be good people. But we can't go picking on each other, and we can't separate ourselves, because we have to be here for the ones that are coming out, the ones that are due, the ones that are going to need us more than we needed anybody. There's a community here that's doing a fine thing. I thank God for this community. I thank God that on YouTube you can come and you can find out that, yes, I'm not the only one. Other people have gone through this. Other people are here to help. Other people are here to uplift. I thank God for all you people. But if we're going to do any help to anybody, we have to understand that we need to be there for people. You know, arguing amongst ourselves and people calling each other names and all that other thing, or saying, well, you can't talk to this person because they think this way. Come on, just forget about that. That's the programming you learned in the organization, is to judge other people and be judgmental of people and all that. We don't need that. You know, we have a purpose, we have a goal. You know, the tower's crumbling, it's coming down. We're doing good, we're making a difference. Let's keep going in that direction. And let's love one another, please. I wish you all peace. I wish all the people that are on their way out and will yet come out understanding, knowledge. I live each and every one of you guys.